The Uninvited Holiday, a heartfelt story about respect and self-worth. Intro. Sometimes, the people you love most forget the hand that fed them until that hand finally lets go. Part 1. A promise to protect. When my sister passed away 15 years ago, I promised her I'd look after her daughter, Emily. She was only 12 then, quiet, bookish, and full of dreams. I was already in my early 50s, single, and had no children of my own. My house felt too big, too empty. Taking Emily and gave my life warmth again. I watched her grow, celebrated her high school graduation, and cried with pride when she got her college degree. I helped her through everything emotionally, financially, and with the kind of love only a second mother could offer. So when she called one day, newly engaged and worried about rent prices, I didn't hesitate. "Move into my basement apartment," I said. "You can stay rent-free until you both get on your feet." I'd been saving for years for home renovations. But instead of upgrading my kitchen, I used $15,000 to turn the basement into a cozy home. New flooring, fresh paint, even custom cabinets. I told myself it was an investment in family. Part 2. 4 years of quiet giving. First year was lovely. Emily would come upstairs with muffins or tea, sit by my window, and talk about her job. Mark, her fiancé, was polite but distant. He always seemed to keep score of who paid for what. I covered their utilities around $300 a month and never complained. I told myself it was what family did. But slowly, the gratitude faded. When I cooked dinner, they rarely joined. When I asked for small help like carrying boxes or mowing the lawn, Mark made excuses. When birthdays came, I got polite texts instead of visits. Still, I smiled and told myself, "They're young. They're busy. It's fine." The Thanksgiving tradition. Thanksgiving was my holiday. Every year since I was 30, I hosted dinner at my home. Turkey, mashed potatoes, pies. My table was always full, my house full of laughter. It was the one day of the year when everyone came together, neighbors, cousins, and anyone who didn't have family nearby. This year, I set out the fancy tablecloth and polished Grandma's silverware. I made sure to include Emily's favorite pumpkin cheesecake. But as the hours passed, every guest arrived except Emily and Mark. I checked my phone. No calls. No messages. Finally, a neighbor's teenage daughter showed me a social media post. There was Emily laughing in a sparkling dress, sitting at a long, elegant table. The caption read, "Thanksgiving with Mark's family, so grateful for real love and connection this year." It felt like a knife twisting in my chest. When I texted her asking why they hadn't come, her reply came minutes later. "Andy, it was just immediate family this time. No hard feelings. No hard feelings." I'd raised her like my own child. Part 4. The breaking point. 4 days later, the phone rang. It was Mark. "Hey, the electric bill's overdue. Can you handle it?" Something in me snapped. My voice was calm but steady. "No, Mark. Not this time. I only support family who includes me." There was a pause, then a sharp edge in his tone. "Wow. Real mature. You're going to make this about some dinner." That evening, they stormed upstairs. Emily's eyes flashed with anger I'd never seen before. "You're being unreasonable, Andy. You're acting like a child. We've got our own lives, greater than." "Yes," I said quietly, "and I've got mine. It's time you start paying your own way." The silence that followed was cold and heavy. Mark muttered something about ungrateful old women, and they slammed the door on their way out. The unthinkably, a week later, I received a letter that made my hands shake. It was a petition filed by Mark and Emily, claiming I was isolating myself, financially irresponsible, and in need of a conservator. In simple terms, they wanted control of my finances. They alleged I was spending erratically and unable to manage property. All because I'd stopped paying their bills. I sat at my kitchen table that night, staring at the papers, heart pounding. How could my own niece do this? I'd given her everything and now she wanted to take away my independence. But I wasn't the weak woman they thought I was. Part 6. Fighting back. He hired an attorney the next morning. A kind man named David, who listened patiently as I told him everything. "Greater than we'll gather evidence," he said firmly. "You've got receipts, proof, and your full mental capacity. They won't win." Over the next few weeks, I gathered everything. Receipts showing the $15,000 renovation and 4 years of utility bills. Photos and posts proving my active social life, trips with friends, art classes, charity work. A psych evaluation confirming my sharp mind. When the court date arrived, I wore my favorite navy blue dress. Emily and Mark looked smug in their suits, whispering to each other. The judge reviewed the evidence. He looked at me kindly, then at them with visible disapproval. Ms. Turner is of sound mind, he declared. This petition is frivolous and manipulative. He dismissed the case immediately and fined them for wasting the court's time. Mark's face turned pale. Emily wouldn't even look at me.
Reflection. Every Thanksgiving, I set an extra place at the table not for Emily, but as a reminder. A reminder that love without respect is not love. That giving without boundaries invites abuse. That even in your 60s, you can start over and find joy again. I share my stories online now, hoping someone out there learns what I did. That self-worth is the best gift you can give yourself. Moral of the story: love should never cost your peace. Generosity is beautiful, but only when it's respected. YouTube ending lines. Love the story. Like, share, and subscribe for more real-life tales of courage and renewal. What would you do in my shoes? Comment below. Your support keeps these stories alive. Thank you for being part of our storytelling family.